Today is all about the heart. The heart that is, which is the second pillar of the three pillars of your home page video. And of course, you know, because you were here last week with me, that it is an absolute necessity if you have a website, if you have a homepage, to have a homepage video on it. Because listen, you are letting people slip away if you do not. They stay 80%, 80, and I think actually the real number is 88% longer if you have a homepage video. So let's make that homepage video amazing. If you're just tuning in, you're like, I don't know what she's talking about. I wasn't here last week. Well, there are three pillars, really major components to your homepage video. Quite simply, they are the hook, the heart, and the CTA. And so last week I went all over about the hook and the reasons that you want a homepage video, and you want a homepage video because it's the difference between someone staying on your website or clicking away. It is an easy button for you to make a quick connection so that your visitor takes actions. That's the CTA part, right? Telling them what to do. It also positions you as the industry expert, and that's what we're going to talk about today, amping up your authority. That is part of the heart part of your homepage video, right? And I personally think I love live video because live video is how you pull off the Band-Aid. That is how you get good at video, but also about talking about your business. Your homepage video is probably the most important video you can have, a pre-recorded video for your business. So I think of live and pre-recorded kind of as, sisters, but two different things. I want you learning lives because it's a necessary thing for your business. But if you have a website, I want you to have a homepage video as well. So again, that hook is just like it sounds. I'm not going to do a big recap, but the hook is like it sounds, right? Like, why should people stay? You got them there, make them stay. So that's the hook. You can go back and watch last week's video when I talked about that. Today, we're going to be talking about your personality plus your authority, and that equals the heart, right? So the hook brings them in, and then like tell them a little bit. And what I call that part is, I like to say it's like, yay, you found the right place. Yay, I'm the right person. Yay, here's what you do next. That's your CTA. Those are like the hook, the heart, the CTA, right? And so today is the yay, you found the right person. And so that's your personality plus your authority. That's the prime opportunity. It equals the prime opportunity for audience to see how they would work with you, how they connect with you, how they would take that next step, AKA your CTA, AKA, right? So a lot of rhyming today. Yay. I could keep going. I will not. So why should they choose you? That is how we're amping up their authority. So the hook, again, they're coming in, they're hearing whatever it is that they need to hear in order to stay. That's about 15 seconds or so. Now, your hook doesn't take 15 seconds, but you need to hook them in the first 15 seconds. And then this next section is why they should choose you. And you're going to verbalize that, right? They will know. I don't like when people use the word, now convince your audience. You don't have to do any convincing. You are the right person, right? Now we need to verbalize that, tell them why. So how we do that, there's many, many, many different ways. So when I have my homepage video workshop, we actually workshop your unique script in a group setting. I can't tell you everybody does this because video is not a one size fits all. Your authority is different than other people's authorities. But here are some jumping off points for you. Like, what is your magic sauce? Like, fill in these blanks. I help blank, this type of person, do blank so they can blank, which means blank. And that which means is the magic sauce. My friend, what is his name again? I'm forgetting what his name is. Jim Edwards, Copywriting Secrets. That last one is the feels. And people have to feel something good. They have to feel some sort of connection in order to do something. They have to feel something to do something. So that's what we want them to do, right? I help who do what so they can, which means what. And the which means really places them in there. So the so you can is the transformation. People need to know that they're starting here. They found you on your website, right? So they're not cold. They're searching for an answer to something. They need to hear what that answer is and that you're the right person to get them there. So questions to think about. How are you different? What makes your approach different? What have they already tried that you can say, right? So many people come to me and they've tried this, but you're approaching it the wrong way. I like mine is always like people come to me and want to know all about the tech. That's putting the cart before the horse because the tech doesn't matter if you don't know what you're going to be talking about. That's the most important thing. Your messaging, your content, that is the queen, your context. It's queen, right? And so we want to make sure that people really understand how you're different and the transformation they're going to experience. What wins can you talk about? This is an opportunity for you to talk about you as a coach, as an expert. I always mention my 20 years of video experience and then I am nominated for an Emmy. This is where I would slip those things in. Nobody gives a crap about the alphabet soup behind your name. I don't care what kind of alphabet soup that you've spent years and years building. They want to know more about who you've helped and how you've helped them. And can you also help them, right? And so you have to talk about your wins. This is where we might weave in a client story or multiple stories. And a lot of times what I'll do is say, I've worked with people like this or this and this. And don't you want to be like John or Amy or Rhoda, right? Like I'll bring in different stories, different people and say, if you want results like that, go ahead and do that next thing. That's your CTA, which we'll talk about in a couple of days, right? So, how do you ultimately help them? And this is really important for you to know because if you have a homepage, this is your business card. This is where people are showing up to find out what is next. And you need to make it really easy for them. Frictionless, slidey. It should be super, super easy. Logan's in the house. Truth speaker extraordinaire. Thanks for always providing value. Oh, you're so welcome. Right? Because here's the thing, like, again, not Field of Dreams marketing. Simply because you made a website does not mean people are on there. And listen, just because you might have a website with a video, people still aren't going to find you, but they're more likely to. It is a little bit more magical, unicorns farting rainbows, because if people meet you in person, someone said this the other day, they're like, I looked their website up, and I'm like, of course you did. As soon as you hear about someone, the first thing you do is look up their website. Correct? Correct. What does your website say? Does it say stay and work with me? Or does it say click away? Right? And so they are finding you, or perhaps they're searching, they're using YouTube, Google together, searching for something, and some magical SEO unicorns have ranked you close enough to the top that people find you, or maybe you hired, because you're a smart squirrel, as an SEO person, to make sure that you pop to the top. Well, now they're not cold. It's not magical thinking. But again, they're going to click on your site, and you have such a small amount of time to tell them they're in the right place. You are the right person. Now, here's what the heck you need to do next, right? That is your homepage video, and your homepage should echo all of that, right? So we really want people to know, like, you're in good hands. Get inside of their head. What would you need to hear if you weren't actually you, but you were visiting a site, or maybe you've been to someone's site and you're like, oh, I didn't find what I wanted, right? What would you need to hear in order to know that you found the right person? Interview some people. What is it about you that made them go, yep, you are the right person for this job? What is your core promise? And again, they're on your website. Please stop sending them to 17 different things. We're going to talk about this when we talk about the CTA, but I cannot tell you how many videos I see, or I'm on somebody's homepage and it's like, click here, sign up here. Do you want this freebie? I don't know. Should you go watch this video? And I'm like, oh my gosh, because a confused mind says no. And you need to think about where you want them to go from here to where. Are you a coach? Well, I hope your CTA is to book a strategy call or a discovery call, or just simply book the coaching, right? Like, do not pass go. Make it easy for them to get into your world. If someone is there, they're looking for a solution and they're ready to buy, and you're like, here's my freebie. It's not freebie Fran. who's hanging out on Facebook mostly looking for all the freebies they can collect, but they're not really willing to invest in their business. Your website is a completely different aminal. Yep, I said aminal, right? And so they may be ready to buy. Don't assume that they're looking for something for free. You can bury your free stuff. They'll find it. If Freebie Fran's on your website looking for free stuff, she'll find it. But that is not the point. You are in business to make money, and there is nothing wrong with that. So let's make sure that your homepage video uh, represents you in a way that's going to help you make money instead of sending them off to freebies. So again, how many people have you helped? This is why it's different for everybody, right? Because I have the authority to say that I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs go live, right? Like you might not have that authority. You may not, but maybe we can tell a story or your own story. This is where I oftentimes tell people in video, like, stop talking about yourself, but this is one opportunity. If your story is their story, maybe we'll even use that as the hook. Who knows? It's exciting, right? We won't know until we're in there, like workshopping your specific script. But that's how all of this works because, like, how long have you been doing this? I've been in the video world for 20 years. That matters, right? I'm not a traffic correspondent who was on video and decided to teach video. I was behind the camera. I was editing. I was a PA. I had done every job in production that you can think of before I started my online business. I was nominated for an Emmy and then I moved online, right? Like so I have a lot of knowledge up in my noodle. I want people to know that because that's the like, oh, okay, yeah, she knows her crap. I'm going to totally work with her, right? Your life experience, your story is experience. How are you different? I mentioned that before, but this is really important because a lot of times people get stuck on the what makes you different. You know what makes me different? Me. There is not another human. I can definitely tell you that. There is not another human out there like me. And it's true for you as well. But how does that show up? So it's not simply enough. You can't just say, like, and I'm amazing and like nobody else out there. You have to tell them what makes you like nobody else out there. Right? My approach to video is different. And that's what everybody will tell you. I was on a call today I'm looking to hire someone. And I got off and I said to my husband, I'm like, I could tell they've never really been on a call with anyone like me, right? Because I don't fit the business mold. Here I am hiring for something very business oriented. And I thought they were great, but definitely they were like, wow, she is something else, right? I don't mind. That's me. The tiny whip, you know you want it, Logan. You know you want your tiny whip with me, right? These are the things that make me different. I care about your business. I care about you succeeding in business. That's what makes me different. You're not another number. You're not being put into a pre-recorded course where you have no access to me. These are the things that make me different. And so when people come and find me, I need them to know that about me. What major wins can they expect when they work with you, when they buy your product? Because many of you, it could be brick and mortar, it could be a product you're selling. It doesn't matter. You're still different. There's still a transformation. You still want them to click and buy, correct? Correct. I'm so glad we're on the same page about that, right? So other ways you can do this is aha moments that your clients, your students, your customers. Now, I don't have this on my homepage video, but oftentimes when I'm talking about live video, so many people with live video have the same exact aha moment, which is, oh my gosh, it wasn't nearly as hard as I was making it out to be in my head. So do you think I would share that if it was like a homepage or specific to live video? I would. Now, my videoscriptsuccess.com is a little more broad and actually changing because I posted that. I have my video up there. I've learned since I think it's a year and a half old. I've learned a lot about my audience. I'm going to change it. Right? It will change. It is fluid. I'm learning about my audience. You're learning about yours, and you can keep changing and evolving that. But when you have these core pillars, these core things that you need to put into your homepage video, ta-da, like it's amazing, or as I like to say, amazable. So a lot of times the way this looks in script forms is, you hook them in that type of things. The next transition, the magic is in those transition sentences could be something like, I have heard all the excuses and, right, that would bring you into like maybe debunking a myth or kind of showing up like I do with my tiny whip and saying like, I've heard all the excuses, but blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really work that way because look at all these success stories, right? Or I have been right where you are. This is where we would dip into your story and how you've been where they are, right? Like that's the transition. Something like, with clients and students all over the world, I've been able to, again, what are you saying there? Like, I've worked with a shit ton of people globally. That's what that says, like in a very much nicer, much more couth, couth, couth. I'm just going to make up words way, right? So these are all the great things. And what I want you to avoid doing is those alphabet soups or droning on and on and on about you and your authority. And that's like, it has to be done in a way that really helps your audience get to that next part. And that next part is the CTA, which we'll go over. I'm not sure when. I think I'll do it early next week, because again, full disclosure, everybody, I am opening the doors to my home video workshop. It is a very small, I can only take 10 people workshop where you'll do a little work before, you'll show up with your homework, and we're actually you will leave, it's 2.5 hours. You will leave with a finished script for your homepage video, right? That's magical, because this is I just told you, it's the most important video you have, right? And so here we are. I'm not just going to talk at you about it. I'll give you an opportunity to work with me, which again, scripting is my magic sauce. Being able to take those millions of brilliant ideas that you have and extract them and turn them into a video script that not just feels good to you, that's important to me, but also feels really good to your viewing audience. Yay, it's a win-win, everybody. So anyway, that is I call it like amping up your authority, or the heart. It's really the heart of your homepage video, right? And so again, the things I want you to think about, just to recap, is like, why should they choose you? And then how do you verbalize that? There's so many different ways. So I'm going to have you watch the replay, but letting them know they are in the right place is your hook, and that you are the right person. So that is all we have. And then I will dip back in and tell you all about the CTA, which wraps it up in a nice little package. And again, when people ask me how long should my homepage video be, anywhere from 90 seconds to 3 minutes. If it's 3.5, is it a bad video? No. So that's what we would talk about. Like, sometimes it is necessary to just do more, and that's fine. And sometimes it's necessary to do less. So you can have a really long 3-minute video or a really short 3-minute video. We want to make a really short 3-minute video. You've been there. You've watched those really long ones where you're like, oh my gosh, what are they talking about? But anyway, I digress. I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you before that, if you're watching on replay and you have questions, by all means, you know where I'll be, right here. I'll see you then. Take care.